Morning guys, so it's Saturday morning for us. We've cleared the back end of Brupeg out so we can work here easily. We've got a wee bit of metalworking and stuff to do today, so rear doors is my goal to get those sorted. So the door obviously either side, we've welded on a 50mm piece of steel that acts as a like a compression seal. I've got to do a couple of repairs, so when I put that on, I just need I never relieved out a little slot for the actual hinge. I just need to do that, so top and bottom. So I'll get that done, and then I've got an oxy torch now, so I just need to do a little bit more straightening just to get them absolutely smick and spot on. So that's my job for this morning, is to get the two doors sorted. On each corner of the door, so this is the hinge, you can sort of see here that it bolts to. This is a piece of stainless that's drilled through. I've got to cut these little notches out just to relieve it, so that back up on the actual frame here, this is the other piece of stainless that it mounts to. It just needs to slide over that slightly, so I just need to cut these two reliefs for the doors. Alright, so let's get into these things.
So I know things look the same in all. Gonna find some light, gone for the night. I'll go.
Hey guys, so recently there was some pretty rubbish news that happened where we are. There was a boat that went down. It was a boat similar size to Brupeg, and about maybe 3 or 4 months before this all happened, it was actually parked right beside Brupeg getting some work done on it. So we know the boat pretty well. There's a lot. It's a small town where we are. There's a lot of people that know this boat, and it went down, and there were 7 guys on board. One of them survived. 6 of them didn't, and they're having a memorial in the yard. They've actually raised the boat. It was underwater for a while, 2 or 3 months maybe. Yeah, 3 months, something like that, 4 months. They've raised it. They brought it back in and they lifted it out a couple of days ago. And it's been, so in the yard there's some big sandblasting bays down the end that have a big fence all the way around, like a 10-metre high fence all the way around, and a sort of a lid to keep the dust in and all that sort of stuff. They have big gates. They've had the boat in one of those. They've had it all sealed off and closed up, so that nobody can sort of go in there and that. And they've been, the cops have been investigating it, and Maritime Safety have been investigating sort of what happened and all that sort of stuff. I suppose. So right now they're actually doing a memorial service. So they've allowed all of the family and stuff to come in and you know, sort of say goodbye and that sort of thing. Yeah, I haven't mentioned this on the camera or on the shows or anything like that. I don't want to mention too much, because I just, out of respect for the families, I kind of want to give them their space and, you know, not have any of this jazz on the show. But yeah, I just feel it's probably something worth mentioning. It's a sobering thought that these boats can and do go down. That was a boat. It was actually a commercial boat, and it was full of like commercially rated divers. So these guys knew what they were doing. And yeah, it still happened. So yeah, just wanted to take a second, and just sort of let you know what's going on in the yard. We're not doing any work at the moment. The memorial service is happening, so we're basically having yeah, keeping the boat quiet so that we don't interrupt any of that. So all work stopped for a while. Yeah, so it's been a pretty somber time in the yard for the last probably 4 or 5 days or so. But yeah, it's starting to wind down. I think now that they're having the memorial, they've sort of concluded their investigation, I think. But yeah, just a pretty sobering thought, really. Righto, so the bending is working, the heating up and bending is working, but it's really slow and it's only taking the bend out a fraction at a time. So the door is still bent that way, so I'm heating this side here to shrink it down and hopefully bend it back in. I've set up a bit of a jig. I'm going to heat it and just put a little bit of pressure, as well as clenching it. I'm going to put a little bit of pressure on just to try and push it back that way a little bit more. So just going to see if that works. It's only really light pressure, it's not a lot, just going baby steps just to see if we can get it to go. But yeah, we'll get into that and see if we can adjust it that way.
How does it bend? Because you're not pushing it in your direction at all, are you?
No, so I'm relying on the contraction of it. So sorry for those that can't hear Jess, she's just asked how does it bend, and again, this is the first time I've ever done this. Disclaimer, I'm not an expert in this. My understanding of how it works is, if you've got in this case you've got a tube, you heat one side and then you cool it really fast and it shrinks. And it kind of pulls it back in.
Yeah.
So it's the reverse of what happened when I welded. When I welded, I heated one side and then that cooled and shrunk it over to the weld. Now I'm trying to reverse
So
that.
it's actually working then?
Very, very, very slowly.
It really is quite
Very slowly.
a big bend, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I need more pressure. I don't think it's working well enough. I think I need to figure out a way of got it. I'm going to put a straight edge up here and clamp it and just keep winding the clamp in as I'm bending them and quenching them. I'll keep doing that. So we're going to try a slightly different technique. So the heating and quenching is working, but it's really slow, and I'm going to try and give it a bit more horsepower by, I've got this piece of 75 by 25 section that I've clamped basically to this, and it's flexible enough, the door is flexible enough that I can pull the last of the bend out, but if I let the clamp go it'll ping out about 3 mil. So I'm going to heat this and quench it, and with the extra pressure I'm hoping it's going to be enough just to sort of hold it all straight. So I'll just try that and see if it's going to work, and if that works then that speeds up my technique all the way through the other, because I've got 4 beams to straighten on these doors, so this is one, so there's 3 more that I need to do. So if I can figure out a fast technique here, it makes the whole job easier. It's amazing how much heat comes out of it, eh? Am I right, that's it?
Is it easier with me helping or not?
Yeah, it's much easier.
So you gotta wait till it cools before you take that off, eh?
It's gone the other way.
Whoa. Whoa, too much pressure, eh?
No, too much heat probably, and like it's actually worked, but it's worked way more than I thought it was going to work.
So it's overstretched?
Overstretched. So.
Wow, look at that.
Wow. Okay, so we've bent the door the other way.
Oh, you can see it been there.
Oh, that's okay. It's easy enough to fix it. I'll just do a little bit on this side, but
Alright.
it's good to know that
really works
works
really
awesome. So that's how I'll do
I'm
it.
just worried about the welds, you know, just pinging off.
Well, then they're not letting go there.
That one has
Ah, that one was already gone.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's an old one. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's worked really well. It's a bit warm. The plan was to basically clamp it, so the door had a curve that way, so we clamped this straight edge on the inside of the curve, but we've heated and vented it. You can sort of see just a small kink there, and it starts to travel out, and you can see at the bottom, I'll come up close, it's actually come out quite a way. So the technique worked, but we did it too much, basically. It worked too good. So now we've just got to untwist that side by heating a little bit on this side. So I'll put the straight edge on this back edge, and then heat on this edge just to reverse what we've just done. Yeah, but that's awesome, because at least I now know how to actually get it to work with a bit of oomph. So we've got one door pretty much spot on, so exactly what we need, so that's ready to blast. There's nothing more to do on that door, which is awesome. So now I've got to get the second door up, and we're going to repeat the process. Now that I know how to do it quickly, we're going to repeat the process and hopefully knock that out in an hour or something like that. So I'm going to use my winch behind me, and we'll get the door up. So as you're probably aware, if you watch some of our other videos, every now and again we get some pretty full-on weather, and it does slow progress down on Brupeg. However, today's one of those days where it's pretty much picturesque Australia. So I'll flip the camera around and just sort of show you what sort of day we've got. So this is the back end of Brupeg, so this is the yard. So there you go, kind of perfect blue skies. It's about maybe 28 degrees or something Celsius, so I'm not even going to attempt to translate that into Fahrenheit. 50, 60,000 degrees Fahrenheit, I have no idea, but yeah, pretty awesome. So turquoise blue water, that's about, I don't know, maybe there's probably from where you're seeing that water there's probably about maybe a kilometre and you're into the open ocean, or I don't know, half a mile or whatever that is, 3/4 mile, something like that. Yeah, and you're back into basically the open ocean of the Tasman Sea, South Pacific. So yeah, that's what we're heading. So let me show you what we've got. So the doors have been straightened up really successfully. Absolutely stoked with how that worked. Thanks for everybody that told me to do it this way. Yeah, the way I was doing it was crap, and this is just a brilliant way of doing it. So I'll show you what we got. So we have two doors, a primary and a secondary door. The reason there's a primary and a secondary door is there's an overlapping seal. So this door here is the secondary door, or the child door, and it has a, I'll open it right up so you can see it. It has a seal that goes all the way around, or like a piece of steel that overlaps that will put a rubber seal on all the way around. It doesn't have any down this edge here, because it basically doesn't need it. So that door closes first, and there'll be a dog top and bottom, so we can crank it up and the door stays like really hard and firm. It's possible that we'll put a dog in each corner and maybe even slot the holes so that we can actually pull the door really tight. Don't know, just see how we go with water tightness and things. Quite open to doing that stuff if we need to, just whatever's going to be the most successful in terms of water tightness. Now the primary door has a seal, see if I can show you, so it has a seal all the way around, so every edge on this has a seal, and this one here comes on top and it seals on this surface all the way down here on this door, so that's why there's no seal there. So that comes in and squashes onto it like that. And again, dogs holding this in, so these doors will be really rigid, and if we need to go out and we only want to open one door, this is the door that gets opened. So this is why we have the primary door. This door most of the time will probably be staying closed, but obviously when, you know, weather permitting or whatever and we want to swing them right open, we can pretty much open the whole back end. So yeah, really happy with how they turned out. So next step on these is to sandblast all the steel work and everything, and then give them a good coating of 2-pack. I'm going to use 2-pack on these rather than single pack, because being something that's going to be opening and closing and hitting against things and all that sort of stuff, 2-pack's got more sort of abrasion resistance. Yeah, I'm assuming at some point there will be paint chipping off, but it's just going to take a bit more oomph for the 2-pack to come off than if we were to use single pack. So yeah, so we'll get into that, blast those up and get those painted. So I wanted to let you know about this channel that we found, so I'll put a link to it up in the description up here, so click on that if you're keen. The channel is called Frantic Sailing Adventures, and it's this guy called Reese and his girlfriend. It's an awesome channel. So they've only just started, they're only like a month or two old, and I actually found them through SV Seeker. I know a bunch of you guys have seen that channel as well, so I found them through that, and it's kind of cool watching them, because it's basically where we were 3 years ago. So we bought Brupeg as a completely stripped out steel shell, and then had a whole bunch of list of jobs to do in front of us, and a bit of hair pulling out. Reese is in the same situation, so he's just bought a steel yacht. It's pretty much stripped out. He's got a good hull and a good rig, and I think that's about all. I think it's got an engine in it, but bugger all. Like, there's no interiors, you know, it's a pretty basic sort of boat at this stage, and he's just into it. He's pulled the mast off, he's got the motor he's doing stuff on the engine. It's really cool channel, really cool channel. So he's only been going for a month or two, as I said, and do us a favour, check it out. If you like Brupeg, you're almost certainly going to like this show, and if you do, please subscribe, help the guy out. He's only got a few subscribers at the moment, but yeah, it'd be nice to boost his numbers, and yeah, pay it forward a bit.